In this video, I want to quickly show you how to make a green screen movie using Shotcut. I've started up Shotcut here, and I have my images and the movie that I made in room 3. I'm going to go to Shotcut, and if it just has a single pane here, I'm going to click View Timeline to add a second section. I'm going to grab my movie that I made in room 3.
The red button and back.
I don't need to listen to it. So I'm going to bring it back to the beginning, and I'm going to drag it down to the timeline. So this is my movie that I made. Remember that you can move your mouse onto this gray area here, move it up a little bit, and you have room for an additional timeline. To add that timeline, click the 3 little buttons over here and click Add Video Track. And then finally, you have to move your video up onto the upper track. So I have my video up here, and I'll take it back to the beginning. I'm going to trim it a little bit. So I'm going to play it or drag the cursor along to get rid of the early stuff in the movie. So I'm going to stop it right there, click the trim item, and then hit the first part and click delete. Now it's still got an empty space here, so I have to move my video over that way. I can go to the end of my video and click up here somewhere, and I can see that I've got a little bit of extra movement here, so I'm just going to drop it right here and trim that and click it and delete it. So now I have a video the right length, and I need to add my images. The first image that I'm going to use is my Welcome to Rome image. So I drag it up to the upper part, drag it down to the bottom, and I'm going to stretch it out. What is it saying?
Rome, Italy. Rome is a really ancient city. It has lots of old ruins. One of the most
Okay, it has lots of old ruins. I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to drag in a picture of the Colosseum. And I'll drag that down here. Don't worry about how big these are right now. You just want to match up the starting points. And here I'm going to...
Other ruins like the Forum where Romans met.
Okay, the Forum is right about here. So I'm going to grab a picture of the Forum, and I'm going to drop it onto here. And finally, let me move out a little bit.
There are more recent monuments like
I can start here and drop Victor Emmanuel down, put him on the timeline. Okay, and then finally, I'm going to
get a chance. I want to go.
So I'm going to back it up to, where am I? I'm going to back it up to about here, and I'm going to drag my Rome thing again, put it down here. Now, I need to drag the edges of all these images over until they run into each other, because there's nothing that I could do that would fill in the space. So I drag that one over, and I'm going to drag this one over, and I'm going to drag this one over, and finally I'm going to drag this, whoops, got to move this thing first. Drag this one over, and that's the finish. Okay, now I need to turn on the green screen. And the way that I'm going to do that is click the upper track and then click filters and add a filter using the video type chroma key simple. Okay, now if I play it,
building.
it's still green.
So if I ever
Okay, so I need to go back to the beginning and I need to notice that you have to click it to every beginning. I need to notice that the green it's looking at is not the same as the green I'm looking at. So I'm going to click the little dropper and I'm going to point to something, you know, just about in the middle here. Oh, that worked pretty well, but it needs a little adjustment. So let me bring this down a little bit. And you see there's a slider over here called distance. Okay. If I move this little slider in a little bit, you can see that it eventually reaches a point where I'm seen and most of the background is seen. The problem is that I was wearing a blue shirt, which is too close to this color. I should have been wearing a black shirt or a white shirt or something like that. But we'll go with this for now. So I've adjusted it there, and if I move this out, you can see we've got a little green around the edges, but that's okay. We're just doing it for fun. So let me bring it back, and the last thing I'm going to do is add filters for a fade in and a fade out. So I click the filter button, and I can go do a fade in video at the beginning. Oops. Wow, that's weird. Well, let me see what it looks like when I play it.
my name is Doug,
Oh,
and I would
sorry,
like to
Steve.
go.
Maybe I need to add the fade in down here. Let's try that. Fade in video. There we go. So now it's all black. And if I start playing,
My name is Doug, and I would like to.
it goes okay. So let me go to the end of my thing, and you have to go to the end of each section. And this is the end of my last section. So let me move it over to there. And I'm going to add a fade out video and see what that looks like. So click this, add a fade out video, and go down to the second line and add a fade out video there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like at the end.
Rome, Italy.
There we go. So it faded out. Now you could do things like add a title and do some dissolves and things like that, but you don't really have to, because now you can, first of all, save your file. I'm going to save it to my desktop called Rome.mlt. LT. And then I'm going to File, Export Video, make sure it's an MP4, and I'm going to export to a file. Somewhere down here we've got a, let's see, where's the export? Oh, there we go. Slide this down and you'll see export file. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'll call it Rome MP4. So I save that, and again, you can watch its progress up here. And when it's all done, you'll have your video ready.